Hey, what's up guys, Claudine here. Wildaces dropped this video called The Problem with Snipers in Bad Business, and as a sniping clan leader myself within the bad business community, I'm here to reach out to this video in response to what he said. I have kind of watched this video before, but I just want to watch it again so I can respond to it. So I don't really have much else to say other than I'm like half with his opinion, so I'll explain as I go through the video. Alright, let's just start.
Alright everyone, there's no intro today. That's how serious I am about this topic, and I want to hear everybody's thoughts and what they think about the things I'm going to say. I don't want anybody going to the comments starting any arguments or just making fun of anybody's opinions and things like that. Be very open-minded when it comes to this. Any negative comments I see going towards anyone at all, I'm just going to be deleting it. I don't want to see any of that. This is just open discussion video. And I like starting a conversation, so you know what better way to start a conversation than talk about the thing that I absolutely love the most, which is the snipers. So today's video we're going to be talking.
Of course you do, Wildaces, and from what you said at the start, I definitely respect what you want for this video and stuff. So yeah, much respect to you, Wildaces.
Talking about is why the snipers in bad business are bad. Before I get into it, I just want to say I'm not bashing on bad business. I love bad business. I like playing the game, but I only like playing the game with an AR. And I'm known in the bad business community as the guy who loves snipers, and I love snipers. I do. Just the way they are right now just ain't it. And I'm not saying snipers need a buff, and I'm not saying they need a nerf. I think what snipers need right now in this current moment is a rework, an overhaul.
I mean, I wouldn't mind as long as snipers are still usable, at least.
If you will. A revamp. I don't know, whatever word you want to say. Now that I got all that out of the way, I'm going to get straight into my points. So first things first, I'm going to just bluntly say it. The hitboxes don't work right. When it comes to the sniper rifles, if I shoot somebody in the chest and they're running at me, or I think even if they're standing still, I haven't tested the standing still part, but at least when they're running at me and I shoot them right in the...
Oh yeah, that is very annoying. I do happen to see issues like these before, so I definitely feel your pain, Wildaces, so let's move on.
Chest, right? I should be able to get a one-shot, correct? Believe it or not, there are some times where it's very inconsistent, and that's what I've been saying for like the longest time. The DSR feels super inconsistent, the ASR feels inconsistent, and sometimes the op feels inconsistent, but the op is probably the most consistent, I'd say, just because I don't really directly aim towards the middle. I kind of do that more so for centering on the other snipers, because with the op I don't have the black scope thing. I'm not getting into that, okay? We'll say that later. And now you're asking me, hey, how can you get a hit marker to the chest if it's a one-shot body? How can you get a hit marker to the chest, right? Well, you see, sometimes whenever you shoot the gun and the bullet starts traveling, there's a chance it might hit the arm instead of the chest, which will result in a hit marker, which is absolutely insane because this makes the one-shot kill snipers absolutely inconsistent and kind of takes away the ability to be a one-shot sniper. And I think that's kind of why I like using the op better with the magnum rounds than I do just base, because it feels more consistent that way. I also feel like with how the current meta is with the snipers, it kind of forces you to play with a one-times optic rather than a scope, which is
oh my god, I mean, this is so true. Like, literally what he's about to say after this is like quite agreeable. Just watch.
Absolutely absurd, because with a sniper I should be using a scope, but whenever I use an optic it just feels way better. If I'm running around with a red dot, I know I can see where my next enemy is, so if I need to aim at one player I can easily adjust to the next player. I think the whole draw to a sniper is the scope, and I think without having a reason or a set thing to use the scope on, it just kind of makes it weird. It makes it more like a two-shot shotgun than it does a sniper rifle.
More like a slug shotgun, but other than that, yeah, I definitely agree with your opinion, Wildaces. You definitely said it way better than I had back when I made the advanced tips video or whatever. Yeah, I ultimately agree.
if that makes any sense. One of my last few points here, I feel like the snipers need more variety. And this part right here is very, very, very optional, because I do think that we need to fix the hitboxes first and then mess around with this idea, potentially more in the PTR than in the main game first. Please do not rush this. But this part right here, I feel like this could be a good thing to like separate more of the snipers and give them more variety, like I've been saying. But right now I'm going to flash up an image on screen. Everywhere that you see that is red, these are all one-shot zones for all the one-shot body snipers. So
isn't this also in the stomach as well? Because I've heard people say that if you hit people on the stomach, it also one-shots, so within one-shot torso snipers. So I don't know about that.
Everyone calling these snipers one-shot body, it's not one-shot body, it's one-shot chest. This entire time, I thought one-shot body was stomach up. No, it is literally chest up. And that is absolutely insane when you put into the perspective of how much movement that there is in the game as is. And I know a lot of you people are going to go in the comments right now, they're starting to type, just use a one-shot headshot sniper then. I can almost guarantee you that 90% of you will not be able to use a sniper against people who are doing insane movement. And the reason why I'm saying all this is,
I mean, you can still two-tap people regardless of movement, so I don't know what was the point of bringing that up. I mean, if you're talking about 80 strafers, then yeah, that is so agreeable, but still, I don't really think super jump players or any players who do stuff like that, I don't think they're really in the fault here, because you know, you can still two-top them regardless of, again, how good their movement is. So I don't see the point of, you know, bringing that up unless you're talking about the 80 strafers, you know, the people who spam the keys A, D, A, D. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, but still, let's just move on.
is because like the movement and stuff, like,
oh, I forgot to mention more respect because you have DSR on your sniper and you're actually trying to go for trick shots. Additional respect for that, for that video. Yeah,
the movement in the game just makes Bad Business feel less casual, more competitive.
I mean, this game has a, in terms of how there's movement in this game, yeah, I can see where you're coming from, but you gotta know, players who use movement know that this game has a lot of potential for competitive play. I mean, I understand that this game is trying to aim for half-half, but you know, this game's like movement, gunplay, all that stuff. People just think, you know, oh, this should be more focused towards competitive play rather than casual play. And I get what you're trying to say here still, but you know, I don't know what I'm even trying to say anymore. But let's move on.
You guys are probably going to the comments right now just typing skill issue.
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, Wildaces. It's just, when there's that and then there's the casuals, you got yourself a community with an identity crisis. And I wouldn't really say identity crisis, to be really honest, but I feel like, I don't know, it's half-half, where, you know, the really good players are in the servers that aren't the official Bad Business Discord server, I'd say. And then the casuals are in the official Bad Business Discord, because, you know what, I don't really want to go there, but you know, I don't even know how to interpret that anymore, but you know, let's just move on.
Or just something like that. I understand why you're saying that, because it's just like, bro, just aim to the head. But it's almost near impossible for me to aim to the head whenever I got somebody moving at Mach 10.
Or more like 80 spam, and that will totally irritate like any snipers using one headhunting snipers in general. So I could definitely understand your pain, Wildaces and stuff. And I do not think it's, you know, a major skill issue. It's just, Honestly, in my opinion, it's just how it is. I just want to watch further.
Speed, bro, moving like a Lamborghini, down, super jumping into the air. Like, you guys realize
Those super jumping players, they're really not that hard to track, to be honest. But like I said before, 80 strafers, if you're talking about them, I really agree. Yeah.
how much movement is in this game. It's almost near impossible to hit the head. And then with the inconsistencies of a one-shot chest sniper, you can see where I'm going with this. Basically, that's what it boils down to. That's what's making snipers bad. It's a combination of the hitboxes not working properly, and on top of all that, it pairs up with people being super good with the movement in this game. And I'm not...
In terms of hitboxes, I wouldn't really say this is all Bad Business's fault. You see, Roblox in the past have issues with its own servers, and honestly, that's on Roblox, not really on Ethan. But I mean, if Ethan has solutions to this, that would be nice to hear and nice to see. But you know, who knows what'll happen.
saying that they need to nerf the movement. I love the movement in Bad Business. I love being able to super jump. I love running fast. But the movement itself is what's making it so hard to snipe. I know there's kids that play this game on mobile. I understand that, but now they have mobile only servers. So it's not like you're going to be bullying mobile kids by adding these one-shot capability things in there and fixing the hitboxes and whatnot, but I'm just pointing that out. I hope I got all my points out right there. I mean, I think I did. I'm pretty sure I did, but
Yeah, I think you did for sure.
But now I want to get into how to improve them. Now we're going to start with the obvious one, better hitbox.
Going back to what points you pointed out, I really wanted to say that, to be honest, actually, I think he talks about this in the upcoming section, so we'll just hear what he has to say.
We need better hitboxes on these snipers. I just can't play the game anymore. I wish I could hop.
Honestly, that's mainly on Roblox, in my opinion, because Roblox has history with horrendous hit markers and horrendous server moments, ping moments, etc. Yeah, you know where I'm going with this. It's not really the game's fault. I'd say it's more like the platform's fault, Roblox's fault, for not, fixing its servers the right way. So I can definitely feel your pain, Wildaces.
Hop on, play the game. I don't want to play Bad Business right now because I just don't have fun when I snipe. It's so inconsistent because of the hitboxes that it just doesn't feel good whenever I get a hit marker to the chest. I just don't like it. I hate it. I just don't want to play the game because of it. Another thing that
in terms of what he's talking about within the game, I would actually like to hear what he would like to say in that perspective, because I think overall he's just talking about that perspective rather than Roblox, the platform itself perspective. So I like to hear what he would like to say for that. Then
I think that we should do to improve the snipers is make them one-shot torso up. Now you can see the image again. I'm going to put it on screen. That is the one-shot range right now. What I'd personally like to see is add this zone right.
I don't know about that, Wildaces. If I'm going to be completely real, you see the chests that people are used to hitting. People are so used to knowing where the chest area is, so I wouldn't really say stomach would be a necessary component, because people are nowadays used to knowing where the chest area is. So yeah, stomach is gonna probably make it a bit worse. Besides, it's a smaller area compared to chest. Why should we add an unnecessary component within one-shot torso?
Here, as you can see, I colored another part in red. I would like to see that zone also be a one-shot zone thing as well. Now, I know that sounds scary, but hear me out here, all right? Just literally listen to me for the next couple minutes. With this change, not only will it be able to make some snipers only one-shot chest, only one-shot head, but now you can have it to where they one-shot stomach. So you can have a lot of variety in these snipers.
Again, I don't think this will work out quite well, because people are used to chest these days rather than stomach, and I don't think even if stomach will be added, I don't think people will even care that one-shot stomach will even exist. Like, it's gonna be mainly, chest that people are gonna still aim for, because that's the bigger part of the torso. You gotta keep that in mind. And stomach is really not even that much, if I'm gonna be honest.
Now, with the snipers being a one-shot stomach up, I think that their movement speed, ADS speed, and hip fire accuracy, all those three stats, all three of them should be just atrociously low. Like,
I mean, if you're talking about one-shot torso snipers, I think ADS speed, I don't know how to describe it. For op and ASR, I think they should. No, op, ASR, DSR, I think they should be fine with their ADS speeds. That I would just have to disagree, because I think they're fine. Movement, I will agree on. I mean, with the nerfed movement speed, I'm pretty sure people will, like, actually strategize on not having to rush too fast. Therefore, that might even be a plus. I don't know what else to say. It's just, overall, I agree with whatever you said with the movement speed and stuff, but ADS, I disagree. Hipfire, I definitely agree that ASR's hipfire should be nerfed for sure. Op, I'm pretty sure, is still atrocious for hipfire. DSR, I think, should stay the same, because think about all the trick shotters that still exist within the game. Wouldn't it suck if they, see that they can no longer, hit non-stops with the hipfire being worse? Like, wouldn't that make it overall worse for, DSR non-stop trick shotters like me? Anyways, let's just carry on.
Like, I should not be running fast with it. I should not be ADSing quick with it, but I also should not be hitting hip fires like it's no tomorrow. Like,
I mean, if you're talking about ASR, yeah, I agree, but DSR, in terms of hip fire, I think it would be nice if the default hip fires would be, consistent within mid-air rather than, b-hopping or jumping and being on the ground, because having hipfire being exclusive to mid-air would pretty much encourage trick shotting, in my opinion, and that way it'll solve the b-hopping, jumping, walking the ground, hip-firing issues and stuff. So I would say that would solve it, not whatever you have to say, unfortunately. But that's just my opinion,
I hip fire with that thing should go out to Narnia or something, dude. Like, that thing should go straight to the right, straight to the left, I don't know, somewhere. And I think having these drawbacks on that sniper is going to make it a lot more balanced. And I know a lot of you are going to be typing in the comments, well, there's attachments that you could do to increase ADS speed. Yeah, that's fine, but that's also going to, in turn, either lower, I don't know, say hip fire accuracy, or lower movement speed, or even raise the recoil of the sniper. There's like a lot of different things that you could do to these to make it way more balanced. Like, obviously, I shouldn't be running around with a sniper that one-shots to the stomach up like I'm running with a katana out or something, like something crazy. I shouldn't have that sort of movement speed on it, but I should be moving around more so like I'm carrying like an LMG or whatever.
Yeah, that literally should be what snipers should be, like one-shot torso snipers should be, at least. However, there is the issue of encouraging camping, but I'm pretty sure people could just run with, high mobility secondary or knife, and that'll just solve it instantly. So, yeah, there is that.
You know what I'm saying? So it kind of balanced things out. Another setback, I think, for snipers that could actually help, but also kind of benefit them at the same time, is getting rid of optics. A lot of people...
I definitely agree with this one, because
people are probably not going to like this change either. But I think getting rid of optics and introducing a new category only specific to snipers, maybe some other guns too, but mostly snipers, I think introducing a section just called scopes and make every scope on every sniper interchangeable. I mean, we have every sniper in the game having some sort of quirk with their scope now. Like you have the DS.
I agree. I definitely agree. We've definitely had so many unique scopes that I think it got to the point where I think it should be time for, some changes to occur. Within the scopes attachment section, what you suggest, I think it would be nice if it would also have interchangeable irons too, like Mosin, Seiko, SV98, or even, Model 700, because for the people who miss red dots, you gotta know that, they're not really gonna be happy about that being gone. So there should be some sort of compensation, like irons, 1x irons, to compensate that, so they can just at least have fun with that in terms of 1x optics, like irons, like I mentioned. And for those who want to change scopes, they could just change scopes. And I think that'll be good for all parties. So, yeah, that's just my opinion. Let's move on.
ASR with the custom reticle, you have the ASR 50 with the variable zoom, the op with the lightweight scope. Like I can go on and on and on about this. Like there's so many different scopes in the game now, thankfully, that we can actually make that a little section for all the snipers. Not only that, but it would actually help me replace the stupid duplex scope and not make my op look so weird. And finally, these are the snipers that I think should get the one-shot stomach up. I think that the DSR 50 would 100% get stomach up. 100%.
I don't know about that, Wildaces. I think for DSR, it's already fine with chest. If you're gonna add stomach component to it, that's gonna make it even more insane. I mean, I don't even know if you should even suggest that, because DSR is, keep in mind, DSR is already broken, even with chest. All ranges chest. But, I mean, let's just hear what he has to say.
I know that sounds crazy, but I think one-shot stomach from a certain range.
I don't know. I don't even think certain range would even work too, because I don't think people might even focus on the stomach area that well. So I think it's still fine with just chest, head, and that's it. Not like stomach or, you know what I'm talking about. I still think what it has right now is still fine. Yeah.
And then it drops off and only one-shots chest infinitely. Sounds way better. I feel like the ASR 50 is fine with chest up. That's just my personal opinion, because it is a semi 50 cal. And even though it makes sense to make it stomach up because it is a 50 cal, I just do not see any world where that's going to be balanced enough. So I think, chest up is fine. Same goes for the op. Same thing, kind of chest up. I would just like to see the DSR get a stomach up, but only from a certain range, just to kind of test the waters with it. And now for my final point.
In terms of testing that on PTR, I am definitely interested on seeing how that would work on PTR. But then again, if you're talking about main game, I don't really think that will even work well. So yeah, that's just my own opinion on that.
Of the video, I know a lot of you are probably screaming and shouting at me right now, but I think that these snipers are the ones that should get overhauled and being able to one-shot chest up. I'm going to quickly run down the list. I'm going to say the R700.
In my opinion, I don't really think Model 700 deserves to be, one-shot chest because of the high fire rate and the 15-round capability. And if it were able to do that, then like in an absolute certain range, like I don't know, close range, whatever, or like I don't know, half the op range, that would still make a huge difference in my opinion, because that would kind of annoy the reg players in the game and ruin their experience overall. What I would suggest is, you know, I just want to listen to him first.
The SL7, the Mosin, and the SV98. I also forgot to mention, I think the Seiko should also have one-shot chest capability. Just wanted to throw that in there. Now, I'm not
Wait.
saying to one-shot chest all the way up to like infinite studs or whatever. I want to...
Of course not. Of course. But I do have to say that I don't know. About three out of 5 snipers you mentioned there don't really, I mean, 3 out of 5 snipers that you mentioned, not, wait, what did he mention again? I kind of forgot. I'm sorry.
7, the Mosin, and the SV98. I also forgot to mention,
in my opinion, I don't really think Seiko, I think Seiko and Mosin having one-shot capabilities would actually be good. But other than that, I think Model 700, the SL7 is a huge maybe though. That's a huge maybe. But other than that, Model 700 and SV98, in my opinion, I think they're already good for headhunting sniper rifles because, in my opinion, they're already fast enough and they're already decently, good enough to have only one shot head only rather than one shot chest. And if they were to get one shot chest benefits, just imagine how broken that will be, in my opinion. SL7, I'm on the side of whether yet I would agree with you or disagree with you, because SL7 is also a fast sniper rifle, but at the same time it has slow reload speeds, so it's a tough one. But if I had to pick one, I would kinda disagree because honestly, it's already fine with what it is. It's already fast fire rate. It already shoots one tap head fast enough, and the reload speed isn't really too bad, so I would say that. Mosin and Seiko though, yeah, I agree. They should definitely have one shot chest at least, because they are very underwhelming within the game right now, and it would be nice if they got benefits too. So that's that, in my opinion.
what you should do to these snipers. Basically, have it to where they only one shot from like really close range. Or
Yeah, exactly. Basically, what I said before, half the op range, or I don't know, 1/4 the op range maybe. Yeah, I think that sounds agreeable.
like from a certain range, and then have it drop off to only one shot head from a distance. I like that. I think that makes the snipers way more usable and makes it still challenging and fun to snipe from a range. So I think having one shot capability on just these 4 snipers as well as the other ones kind of make it a little better and a little bit more easier to use these snipers. Because like I said, not only is it going to make every sniper different in a way, but it's also going to give you more of an incentive to use these snipers. The only people I ever see sniping in bad business right now are low levels.
It's not just low levels, Wildaces. Come on. You've also seen me snipe before, and sometimes you, if you're interested. There's also those op rushers that exist too, that snipe in the game. But they just, I don't know how to describe it. They just slide and shoot, etc., and they do it the wrong way, and they think that's a trick shot. I don't know. I really don't know anymore about that, but still, I don't think low levels are the only ones. But if you're talking about campers, then yeah, for sure. But I don't really think they're the only people. That's just what I wanted to generally say about that.
Half of them are hacking. And I know there's been some game
Hacking? I mean, I haven't seen snipers that are hackers. I mean, there are some instances where they are hackers, but other than that, there are like some of them who are like, wannabes who think, oh, I can hit clips or whatever. But still, that's very debatable overall. That's very debatable.
Games out there that only have one-shot headshot and it's worked out for them. And you could take like Energy Assault, right? You could take that for an example. I just made a video on Energy Assault not too long ago, but you could take Energy Assault as an example. That game only has one-shot head snipers. I even bought the last sniper, the most OP sniper, or no, OP sniper in the game, and it only one-shot headshot. I said on my stream that day that I didn't think that that was a bad thing because there is little to no movement in the game, so you should be forced to aim to the head. But then you take a game like Phantom Forces, all right? That game has a little bit more movement. There's people super jumping, and not to the extent how Bad Business has it, but, there are people super jumping around corners. There are people that eviscerate you in like 2 seconds. Phantom Forces analogy because we don't have custom characters in the game? Alright, fine. Let's hop over to Frontlines. Large majority of the community thinks that the sniper should only one-shot waist up. And all I'm asking for, what I'm begging for, is for snipers to one-shot chest up. Not every sniper. I think it needs to make sense. The Dragnov should not be one-shotting chest up. The
Of course.
Model 1873 should not be one-shotting chest.
I mean, I think I agree with that too. Even though I despise that sniper so much because of its stupid recentering. But what would be nice is if the Model 1873 had more recentering attachments in order to make it less atrocious. So there's that.
Chest up. Any low caliber snipers, even out of the entire list, that you don't think should one shot, let me know. If you don't want the SL7 to one shot, completely fine. SV98, completely fine.
Completely respectable, Wildaces. I completely respect what you're trying to say there.
Those two are the only ones I threw on there as kind of like a maybe, but the Mosin R700 should definitely one shot chest up to a certain.
Mosin, yes, I agree. Model 700, nah, I don't see a chance because you can hit really insane feats with Model 700 even if it's one-shot hit only. And it's the same thing with SV98. So, that's that.
Range. But yeah, I kind of dragged this video out for a while. It's been 3 years in the making.
I understand how frustrated you must have been, Wildaces. I mean, having all these thoughts for 3 years and having all that thoughts of, pure frustration of movement annoying you and stuff. I mean, I don't know what to say about that, but I do have to say that, I don't even know what to say, actually. I mean, some changes do have to be made to compensate how much movement this game has. I do have to agree with that, but I just think some other changes you suggest should just remain the same and should not be added just for the sake of the community itself. You know what I'm saying?
3 years in the making. Sorry if I went on a tangent on this whole thing. I kind of just been trying to get my thoughts out there. This is the first time I've ever talked about snipers specifically. I mean, even if
honestly, you're quite brave, Wildaces. I 100% respect that. I too have my own thoughts of myself, but I really do not want to get deep into that. So, no, it does not have to do with complaints about the game or whatever the heck you guys might think, game complaints, quote unquote, game complaints would have looked like or whatever. But besides all that, let's just go on.
Business decides not to overhaul the snipers and make them better, and they want to just leave them the way it is. I mean, there's not much I can do. I just have to kind of deal with it. And
honestly, if they do make it the same, it's still manageable to hit feeds. If you think about it, the game still has a understandable standard that I set up for the game. Like I've set up quad feed anywhere, like torso, limb, head, whatever the heck it can be. And I specifically did this just to fit in, specifically to fit in the community, because the community seems to struggle to hit quad feeds. Like, the sad thing is, majority seem to think that it's easy to use snipers, but they don't really know how to hit, the standards for the game. Like, they just hit a triple, and then they say, "Oh, it's so easy to clip with the game," and yeah. Other than that, let's just move on.
Kind of just keep dealing with it like I have been for years now. But I think that the most important part about this is that there is no sniping community. There's no montages in Bad Business.
I accidentally tapped out for a sec. I'm so sorry about that, but according to what he said, I mean, he's actually kind of right. There is no, let's say, in his definition, montages these days about sniping. But in my opinion, I think he's talking about good quality versions of montages. I don't really want to talk trash, but I'm not going to really do it. I'm just going to say that the montages he's talking about are like, good ones that are actually tolerable to viewers. And when I try to look up sniping montages these days, it's all about like, people make it where it's like, I don't know, YouTube shorts or, I don't know, TikTok kind of resolution, and they just snipe people, or people can just go to the servers and then just, I don't know, kill one people, and that's literally the whole clip. I mean, I get what you're trying to say. Well, I get what you're trying to say. But in terms of sniping community, you still have Project Scandalous, dude. You still have that, and even some sniper. I think even some snipers still exist within the community. So there's also that too.
There's barely anything about snipers in Bad Business, period. I feel like I'm big enough in the community to finally make a video like this and address this problem, because like I said, I think it's been a problem ever since I started. More so now than ever, because players have gotten a lot better and they've been using movement to counter snipers and having one-shot head.
I definitely understand Wildaces' frustration, honestly. These days, I would say it's mainly about demand these days. If people want to see videos where it's all about tracking, regs, and all that stuff, I personally don't have that much complaints about it, honestly. It's just reality in terms of content creation. And with that, there's barely anyone who's going to make, any decent or good content in terms of quality. I don't want to sound rude, but I wanna be really honest. I don't really think people are, how do I say this? I don't think the majority of the Bad Business community are really good enough to hit at least decent to good quality clips. So I do feel your pain, Wildaces, and I think with some of the, again, like with some of these changes, I think that'll address some stuff or somewhat. And I have so much thoughts in my mind right now, but I really don't know how to phrase them, so I'll just move on.
Headshot snipers only. It's been fun, but we need more now. I'm tired of seeing everything else get buffed and snipers are being left in the dust. So
I don't really think they're really left in the dust, to be honest. I mean, if you're talking about one-shot head-only snipers, somewhat I kind of agree, but other than that, I still see people sniping these days, especially one-shot torso, and people don't even mind those snipers. So, I kinda disagree on what you said about how dead the sniping community is, but you know. Just know that there's still snipers out there, even aggro ones.
Whether you agree with me or not, I think that pretty much concludes why I think snipers are bad. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to let me know. And please comment down below.
For sure, for sure.
What do you think about the snipers? What do you think about the current state? Do you agree with my opinion on this video? Do you not agree? What would you change? Give me all your feedback. But once again, do not go out of your way to attack anyone in the comments. Do not be super, super negative. Don't just be out here trying to make fun of anyone or anything like that. Any negative comments I see towards anyone on this channel, I'm deleting straight away because I do not stand with that. But yeah, I guess that's all from me. All right, I'll talk to all you beautiful, beautiful people on the next one. Later.
Very understandable audience and really good video audiences. It's really tough to put in my thoughts within a separate response video, especially since, you know, I have so much going on with my mind with what you're saying and stuff. But overall points though, I think there was a comment within Rudev Media. No, there was a comment from the Rudev Studio themselves. I think it's Ethan that talked about it, and he did make a good point that, he did make it clear that he's definitely going to test out, you know, shoulders counting as one-shot torso stuff, and I think that would be a better alternative instead of just stomach. And in terms of what I had to say for in terms of what I had to say for headhunting sniper rifles, refer back to what I said in the video. And in case you don't want to hear that again, I'll just say this right now. Mosin and Seiko, I agree. Every other headhunting sniper rifles should stay the same, honestly. They're completely fine as they are, except for Seiko and Mosin, because Mosin and Seiko are just slower than the other headhunting sniper rifles, and they do desperately need to, you know, catch up with the other sniper rifles by having them have close range one-shot torso support, and I think that would benefit them as well. In terms of community, I really do not want to be too harsh on this, but I'm gonna be completely honest. The sniping community isn't really dead yet. In terms of that, I have seen people who have, you know, produced content where it's like, ooh, they just kill one people within a scoped kill or something like that, and they just call it clip. I mean, that's pretty much what we have within the sniping community and stuff, which is kind of depressing, to be honest, because, you know, within what you have to say, that does make it clear that, you know, snipers are, you know, sniping isn't really in the bright within clipping, but, like, you gotta know, it's unfortunate that the trend has changed these days from, you know, sniping content to reg content and all that stuff. I think, in my opinion, what really happened these days is that within FPS communities, it will always change from sniping clips being desirable to reg clips being desirable, and then it goes on so forth within Roblox. Nobody knows really why this is the case, but actually I do kind of know why this is the case. It has to do with, you know, people pretending this is more like aim labs rather than, you know, Call of Duty, and that's totally understandable. And again, I have so much shit in my mind. I really don't know what to say other than this was a great video. I was very mixed within the video, in my opinion, but I am very happy and very I respect a lot that you came forth within this video, and yeah. Other than that, I don't really have much else to say. I would just like to conclude that, you know, it is totally okay with Wildaces coming through with this video, and I'm sure Ethan and the Bad Business staff will do something about sniping, especially since it rotted out these days. It is sad to see that within the sniping community, it did not work well for Paradox sniping. It did not work well for Lecton in the end, and it sucks to see that they got burnt out in the end. I mean, not really for Paradox sniping, as they had a different situation. I'm not sure about Rage. I'm pretty sure they're still Phantom Forces focused rather than multi Roblox focused. Xenon and Lions, I don't really think they clip in this game, but it would be nice. Actually, what am I trying to say? Other than that, I really have nothing else to say. Yeah, I have nothing else to say.